Dark Prismarine was added to Minecraft 1.8, better known as the Bountiful Update. This was a pretty big milestone for the game, not only bringing new stone types such as granite, andesite and diorite, but it also introduced an entirely new underwater experience. This is where Guardians made their first appearance, lurking in the labyrinth of a brand new structure known as the Ocean Monuments. Dark Prismarine became one of those rare blocks that was hard to get, making it feel more special for builds at the time. Whenever I see Dark Prismarine, my mind immediately jumps to an Atlantis-style temple, something ancient and watchful as though it's seen many a traveller perish. The block's deep and rich tone makes lighter blocks like quartz and sandstone really pop. It's the kind of contrast that feels both elegant and dramatic, perfect for giving a build a sense of grandeur. Today marks day 1 of my 30 days, 30 blocks challenge, a personal creative project where I'll be building every single day for the next month. The twist is that every day I have to work with a new block chosen completely at random. It's a fun way to push myself creatively, breaking out of old habits or styles, and see what kind of builds come from materials I might not normally reach for. I don't plan anything before beginning a build, letting the blocks speak for themselves as I place them. Some things work, other things don't. That's a part of the process. When I start a build, I like to block out the basic shape first, giving myself a clear guide to work from. I stick to colour combinations I know work well together, then sketch in a rough structure. Some blocks naturally blend well, while others need a mid-tone to bridge them. For this temple, I wanted the roof to be the main focal point, so I felt like the pillars needed to be fairly plain and monotone. Bringing the white upwards, I framed the dark prismarine in iron trapdoors, softening the transition where the roof met the walls. I wasn't completely satisfied with the vertical height, so I decided to build another circular structure right on top of the temple's roof. This extra layer didn't just make the field feel taller, it naturally guides the viewer's eyes upwards, encouraging them to take in the whole piece. It also adds a sense of progression, allowing rest points for the eyes as they work higher and higher. I decided to warm up the base of the structure since most of the other colours I used were cooler in tone. That bit of warmth grounded the building and helped balance the overall palette. For me, texture and detail are where a build really starts to come alive. Before I add them, there's always this moment of doubt, that quiet question in the back of my mind asking if the idea will actually work out or if it'll just fall flat. But I've learned to push through that stage. Even the simplest of details can transform a building completely, adding depth, character, and a sense of cohesion that wasn't there before. But no amount of detail can save an idea that just won't work. I experimented with something on the upper part of the cliff that just didn't click. At first, I wanted to have 2 temple structures filling this plot, but I didn't want to repeat the same shapes. Thus, I settled on a rectangular structure to add visual interest. But no matter what I tried, something felt off while I was planning it. I kept pushing and pulling the design, but it just wasn't coming together the way I wanted. Eventually, I reached a point where I seriously considered scrapping the whole thing and pretending I never even started. Sometimes builds hit that frustrating wall, and sometimes you need to decide if pushing through it or starting fresh would be best. That's when the idea hit me. What if I scrapped the building and added a lone cherry tree in its place? I imagined it as a symbol, like this temple was somehow connected to it. Maybe it represented those lost souls who drifted out to sea, finally coming to rest beneath its delicate pink branches. Yes, this idea was working much better. I was actually my first time building a cherry tree, and without a reference, I was pretty nervous about how it would turn out. I experimented a lot, adjusting the leaves until they finally fell into a shape that felt natural and visually appealing. That tree ended up adding a whole new layer of meaning and beauty to that scene, turning what was once negative feelings and self-doubts into something that I could truly be proud of. And that's the thing with anything creative. You never really know how it's going to turn out until you give it a shot. An idea might seem impossible, or you might even doubt your ability to pull it off, but the act of trying is where the magic happens. Even if it doesn't work out the way you imagined, you'll learn something new and develop skills where sometimes those happy accidents lead to results that you couldn't have planned. Creativity thrives on that mix of uncertainty and experimentation. It thrives on the ability to push through. That's day one complete. a build overlooking a watery grave. Sometimes it's about making happy accidents, and sometimes it's about knowing when an idea won't work.